There's this moment in midlife when your body stops being something you can ignore.
Yes, when it stops quietly doing what you ask and starts loudly telling you, no, not like that anymore.
Today, we are talking about what happens when your body say no.
Welcome back to Midlife Unfiltered. I'm Alice from primemidlife, and this is Jenny from Midlife Clover Community. Today, we are diving into something everyone experiences in midlife, but not many people talk about honestly: the physical changes. When our body starts behaving differently, demanding different things, refusing to cooperate the way it used to. And this is a big topic because the physical experience of midlife is real and significant, and it affects everything else: our energy, our confidence, our sense of self, even our plans for the future.
Yes, and I think what makes this hard is what we are sold two different stories. One says midlife is inevitable decline. Your body falls apart, you get weak, slow, and sick, and there's nothing you can do about it. The other says if you just try hard enough, buy the right products, follow the right regime, you can completely avoid aging. And both stories are nonsense. The truth is somewhere in the middle. And that's what we want to explore today.
Yes.
So, what actually happens physically in midlife? How to work with your body instead of against it, and how to reframe this in a way that honest but not depressing.
Yes. So let's start with the wake up calls. The moments when you realize, oh, something has changed. So for me, one of the first ones was sleep. I had always been a good sleeper. Then suddenly in my mid 40s, I would wake up at 3 a.m. and couldn't fall back to sleep.
Me too.
Or I would sleep through the night but wake up exhausted. And I kept thinking, what's wrong with me? And it took me a while to realize, so this was hormonal. This was perimenopause. This was my body going through massive changes. But in those early days, I just felt broken. And then there was this thing called energy. I used to be able to push through long days, lots of commitments, not enough rest. No worries, I could manage it. But then I couldn't anymore. My body would just shut down. I would hit this wall where I literally couldn't function. Yes, I still kept trying to power through the way I always had, but you know what? And it wasn't working. As if like my body was saying, nope, you need to rest, and I wasn't listening.
Yes, the energy thing is huge. For me, it was also the recovery time. I used to be able to exercise hard, maybe feel sore the next day, but after that, I'm fine. Now, if I push too hard, I'm not recovering for days. My body needs more time, more gentleness, more attention to recovery. And I remember feeling frustrated. Why can't I do what I used to do? Why is my body being so difficult? The other wake up call was, for me, was the metabolism. I wasn't eating any differently. I was still active, but my body composition was changing. Weight was shifting, settling in different places, and all the strategies that used to work, they just didn't anymore. My body had new rules, and I hadn't been given the handbook.
I mean, I don't think actually we even have a handbook. And also for so many women, the hormonal changes are massive. Perimenopause and menopause are not just hot flashes, although those are real and miserable. We also have mood changes, brain fog, which I actually have it quite bad, joint pain, skin changes, digestive issues is systemic. Our entire body is recalibrating and it takes years. And we are supposed to just keep functioning normally while this is happening, but it's just crazy.
Exactly. So let's talk about what actually happening physically in midlife because I think understanding this helps. Our body is going through significant hormonal shifts.
Yes. For example, for women, estrogen and progesterone are declining. And these hormones affects everything, not just reproduction, but bone density, muscle mass, metabolism, mood, connective function, cardiovascular health. It's not a small thing, it's a major biological transition.
And it's not instant. Perimenopause can last a decade. We are not going from normal to menopausal overnight.
Yeah.
We are in this long transition where things are unpredictable and fluctuating, and that's actually harder to navigate than a clear before and after. We don't know day to day how we are going to feel, what going to work, and what our body needs.
Yes, and for men, there's this thing called testosterone, gradually declines, which affects energy, muscle mass, mood, libido. It's a slower process than what women experience, but it's still real.
And for everyone, regardless of gender, there are universal changes. Our metabolism slows. We lose muscle mass if we are not actively working to maintain it. Our bone density decreases. Our joint might ache more. Our recovering time increases.
And also, we have our sleep architecture changes. We spend less time in deep sleep, which is why we can sleep 8 hours and sometimes we might still feel tired. Our stress response changes as well. Our body doesn't bounce back from stress the way it used to. Our immune system could be different as well. Our gut health might shift too. Everything is interconnected and is all recalibrating at the same time.
Yes, and here's what important to understand these changes are normal. They are pathology. They are not disease, they are biology. Our body is supposed to do this. The problem is what we have been taught to see aging as failure. So we interpret normal biological changes as something being wrong with us. And that creates so much unnecessary suffering.
Yes, and now let's talk about our emotional piece because this is where it gets complicated. There is grief involved in these physical changes. Grief for the body we used to have, for the ease and reliability we took for granted, and that grief is legitimate. We are not being vain or superficial if we are struggling with our body looking and feeling different. We are experiencing loss, and loss requires grieving.
Exactly. And there's frustration too. Why can't I do what I used to do?
Yeah.
Why is everything harder? Why do I have to work so much harder just to maintain? And that frustration is valid. It is not fair that women especially have to navigate this massive hormonal transition while still showing up for careers, families, and all their responsibility with no announcement that something huge is happening.
And also, there's often shame. Like you should be able to control this, and you are letting yourself go, or you are not trying hard enough. And that shame is so damaging. Our body changing is not moral failing, it's not a character weakness, it's just biology. And the sooner we can separate our worth from our physical condition, the better.
And then there's the work of acceptance, which doesn't mean giving up or not taking care of ourselves. It means accepting our body is different now and has different needs, operates by different rules, and working with that reality instead of constantly fighting against it or trying to force our body to what it used to be.
Yes. And sometimes acceptance is hard because it feels like surrender, but it's actually liberation. When we accept that our body need more rest now, we stop feeling guilty about resting. When we accept that we need to exercise differently now, we stop comparing ourselves to our younger self. Acceptance allows us to meet our body where it actually is instead of where we wish it was.
So, let's talk about what actually works for managing physical health in midlife. First, you have to prioritize sleep, not as luxuries, as a non negotiable. Our body needs sleep to recover, to regulate hormones, to function. If our sleep is disrupted, that becomes the first thing we need to address. Sleep hygiene, sleep schedule, creating conditions for good sleep is foundational to everything else.
Yes, and of course, movement is crucial, but it has to be the right kind of movement. We need strength training to maintain muscle mass and bone density. We need flexibility and mobility work because our body gets stiff. We need some cardiovascular activity for heart health. But we also need to listen to our body and not push through pain or exhaustion. More is not always better in midlife. Consistency and sustainability matter more than intensity.
Exactly. Nutrition becomes more important, not less. We can't get away with eating poorly the way we might have when we are younger.
Yeah.
Our body needs good fuel. Proteins becomes especially important for maintaining muscles. Whole food, adequate hydrations, paying attention to how different food affect our energy and digestions, it all matters now.
Yes, and the stress management is huge. Chronic stress in midlife is disruptive. Our body doesn't recover from stress the way that we used to. So we have to be more deliberate about managing it. So it could be like meditation, time in nature, boundaries around work, saying no to things that drain you. Whatever works for you, but you can't ignore stress anymore.
For women, especially, working with a healthcare provider who understands perimenopause and menopause is critical. We might need hormone replacement therapy. We might need other intervention. But we might need someone who takes our symptoms seriously and doesn't tell us to exercise more or accept this is aging. There are real medical solutions that can help.
Yes. And you need to adjust your expectations. You are not going to have the same energy or capacity you had at 30, and that's okay. You can still do amazing things, and you have to work with your body's reality. So that might mean shorter work days, more rest days, different exercise routines, different social schedules. Designing your life around your actual energy and capacity, not your ideal energy and capacity. So here's what I want to challenge all of us here. The idea that physical changes in our midlife mean we are declining or becoming less. I mean, let's put it this way, our body is different. That doesn't mean it's less. Different capabilities, different needs, different rhythms, but not less valuable, not less powerful, not less worthy of respect and care.
In some ways, your body in midlife is asking you to be more conscious, more intentional, more attuned. When you were young, you could ignore your body and it would just keep functioning. Now it demands attention. And that's actually a gift, even though it doesn't always feel like one. It's inviting you into a more conscious relationship with your physical self.
Yes. And also the fact that it's asking for different treatment now is not weakness, it's wisdom. Your body knows what it needs. The question is, are we willing to listen?
So, if you're navigating the physical changes in midlife right now, here's what we want you to know. What we are experiencing is normal. Our body is doing exactly what it's supposed to do, and we deserve care and compassion from others and from ourselves.
Yes. And now we want to hear from you. What's your experience with physical changes in midlife? What has been hardest? What has helped? What have you learned about working with your body instead of against it? Leave a comment and share your story because these conversations normalize what everyone is experiencing privately.
And if this episode resonates with you, share it with someone who needs to hear it. Because the more we talk honestly about the physical reality of midlife, the less alone everyone feels. And the more we can support each other through it. See you next week. Bye.